He warns his father to stay away from himself, and while Danny and his father were confronting each other, stepmother was afraid that Danny would do something stupid. She took out her cell phone and dialed the police. At that moment, his brother also advised Danny, "There's no reason for your stepmother to drug you." Danny said that she was a killer. First it was mom, then the dog, then me, then you, and you. I'm going to find the evidence now. He ran to the second floor and stormed into his stepmother's room. He locked the door from the inside with his hand. Then, while rummaging around in the room looking for evidence, his father broke down the door of the room. He came in and started to persuade him. When he was about to convince Danny to calm down, but then the sudden appearance of his stepmother, Danny went crazy again. At that moment, the police were called and arrived, arrested the murderer Danny on the spot. So why did Danny have to go to this extent with his stepmother? Just a short time ago, Danny's mother was terminally ill. They also hired a hospice nurse, Danny's current stepmother. At that time, his mother's condition was still stable, but since they hired this nurse, his mother's condition deteriorated dramatically. It wasn't long before she passed away. What Danny never expected was that he also overheard his father hanging out with the nurse. He was furious and confronted his father in front of his brother. As a result, his good brother said he respected his father's choice, and so his father became even more reckless, directly let the nurse moved into their home. At first, Danny hated the stepmother. He made things difficult for her at every turn, even when he was with his friends. It was like he was obsessed, always speculate on everything bad about the stepmother. Later, his friend could not stand it. After some realistic guidance, Danny finally found himself a little too much, so he found a chance to praise his stepmother. Danny said, "This is delicious." The stepmother said, "That's good," and as they continued to talk, suddenly there was a barking sound outside. It was time to walk the dog. Danny wanted to get up and go walk the dog, but was stopped by his stepmother on the spot. Then she volunteered to walk the dog. In the meantime, Dad came out for dinner after work. Danny had just said that his stepmother's food was delicious. His stomach suddenly felt a pain before he could figure out what was going on, but outside suddenly came the sound of his stepmother's cry for help.